Hello YouTube, Gaming Goddess here with a review on a pretty popular game known as Undertale. Undertale is an RPG that was developed and published by Toby Fox. He did a lot of the art and music in this game as well. So this game was rated Game of the Year back in 2015. I've played a lot of different RPG style video games, so I just had to see how great of a game this really was. Also, special thanks to my viewer Chaotic Fire, who actually bought this game for me on Steam. Thank you so much. I wouldn't have been able to do this review without it. So with that being said, let's go ahead and look and see if Undertale is my game of the year. Long ago, humans and monsters lived as equals on Earth. One day, a war broke out between the two races, and after a long series of battles, the humans were victorious. The humans sealed the monsters away in the underground with the magic barrier. Even though the monsters were sealed away, there was still an opening at the top of Mount Ebot, where poor, defenseless children fell to their doom. So the player basically takes control of a human child who is probably around the age of 6 or 7. That's just my opinion based on the way the character looks. Now the player can also name the character whatever they want as long as it's within the letter limit. That's actually pretty cool. I like being able to name my character since it's actually a real unique feature that some games actually do offer. And the other thing, this game doesn't give the player any particular gender for the character, so it's really just up to the player's imagination. Now let's take a look at the general gameplay. Undertale features some RPG elements to it as well as several differences. The player can gain experience, which will increase the player's love. Love is similar to leveling up. The player can find and equip different weapons and armor. The player navigates the world in a top-down perspective and can visit a variety of locations such as shops, towns, and large buildings. Progression through the game requires the player to interact with different puzzles and non-player characters. Depending on certain actions that were made through the course of the game will determine the player's endings. So yes, this game has multiple endings, 3 to be exact. Undertale features a bullet hell battle system where the player has to dodge multiple projectiles. Now this particular battle style is a little bit weird in my opinion. I haven't played too many games with the bullet hell style, so it definitely took some time to get used to. On the plus side, it's not too hard to learn. Of course, this is just to avoid the enemy's attacks. The player doesn't have to fight, but if they choose to do so, a bar will appear on the screen when it's the player's turn to attack. By pressing the X key on the keyboard once or multiple times, depending on the weapon currently in possession, will do damage to the enemy. After a fight, depending on if you killed or spared the monster, you will gain experience points, gold, or sometimes both. Boss battles are a little bit different than normal battles. During a boss fight, the color of the player's heart will sometimes change. This will sometimes make the battles a little more challenging since the player's movement will be limited for the time that it's a different color. Moving on to the graphics and audio. Undertale features a real unique art style that actually reminds me of the old 16-bit video games. I of course find all the character sprites to be super adorable, especially when petting Lesser Dog. There's no voice acting in this game at all. Other than that, there might be a couple of laughs here and there. I did notice that a lot of RPG Maker style video games leave out voice acting, and I think it gives the game some sort of uniqueness to it. As for the game's soundtrack, I absolutely love it. It's not the same old song playing in the background through the entirety of the game. This game actually has variety, and I like it a lot. Now let's take a look at the pros and cons according to my standards. First, some pros would include a good story, cute character sprites, interesting gameplay, a good soundtrack. The game knows when to be comedic, yet it also knows when to be serious, and of course the multiple endings. As for the cons, I couldn't find any. Undertale is a great game, but I wouldn't say it's the best game ever. There are plenty of games that would definitely top Undertale in my eyes. This game is real unique, and I can see why a lot of people would call it their game of the year. It has awesome music, a wonderful story, lovable characters. This game can be funny, yet everything can turn dark and serious when you least expect it. It really keeps you at the edge of your seat when playing. As story progresses, the game does get a little bit harder than it was before, but as long as you're filled with determination, nothing is ever too hard to accomplish. I would definitely recommend this game to anyone who hasn't played it. It's well worth the $10. Overall, Undertale gets a 9 out of 10. If you like this video, go ahead and leave a like. It helps me out a lot. If you have an opinion on Undertale, or if you just want to say hi, then feel free to leave me a comment. I love reading what everyone has to say. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. This has been a Gaming Goddess review. And remember to keep on gaming.